terrible tonight. Very terrible. Name my topic. I'm a Godfather Soldier. Saying name my topic tonight is called Repulsive. Hold on, let's see what's it called. Repulsive and Ridiculous in Raleigh, North Carolina. What will WrestleMania 42 Vegas will still be good in less than under 4 weeks. So much I say. Before I do, I'll show a little bit of something. For those of you that heard the passing of legendary Chuck Norris, someone I grew up watching. I mean, he died at the age of 86. 86. I'm going to show some music, a couple of music from some couple of from his movies. One is called Two Can Be One, the movie when he started in the movie Hero on the Terror, 1988, and the song by Lee Greenwood called a song from Delta Force 2 called by Lee Greenwood is called Winds of Change. Yeah. So stick around, right back. Again, music playing, right back.
Inside me, putting the bad dreams behind me. You are my soul, my life.
Oh, forever, something I've never been sure of.
I could show you everything I turn out right. We found our way together.
Two can be one.
Oh, two can be one. Two can be one. Two.
No.
Well, it's not the way it was, and it may look strange to the ones who ran the show, but the wind has changed. Home flags have come unfurled. It's bringing back the world to the ones who really care. The winds of change are blowing stronger, and the tables turned when the bridges burned. Easy to see what's going on here, flying high with the wings of change. Well, we've taken back control of our precious lands, and we've repossessed our soul from the devil's hands. Some like to call it fate, while some refuse to wait until karma comes to call. The winds of change are blowing stronger, and the tables turn when the bridges burn. Easy to see what's going on here, flying high with the winds of change. Not too long ago, we were laying low, believing we each would have more than our day in the sun. And now it's coming, the winds of change are blowing stronger, and the tables turn when the bridges burned. Easy to see what's going on here, flying high on the winds of change. The winds of change are blowing stronger, and the tables turn when the bridges burn. Easy to see what's going on here, flying high on the winds of change. The winds of change are blowing stronger, and the tables turn when the bridges burn. Easy to see what's going on here, flying high on the winds of change. Flying high on the winds of change.
Yep. Oh, you just heard that. Winds of Change. Two Can Be One from the movie Chuck Norris did Hero on the Terror. The Winds of Change by Hero on the Terror. Name of the song was Two Can Be One by Joe Pluzzo and Stephanie Reich from the movie Hero on the Terror. Chuck Norris did. Another song you just heard is called The Winds of Change by Lee Greenwood. From the movies Delta Force 2. He did 1990. Chuck Norris will be missed. Let's get down with tonight's terrible show. SmackDown kicks off with highlights of last week's contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Till Randy Orton attacked Cody Rhodes. Live the arena, we cut from the commentary. We cut the jail roll arriving in the arena, but the WWE officials are running outside. We see a car crash outside. Drew McIntyre pulls Jacob Fatu from the car windshield and begins hitting him with right hand, slamming onto the hood of his car. WWE officials grab Drew and break it up. We see a car crash. We see a car crash outside. Drew McIntyre pulls Jacob Fatu from the car from the windshield, begins hitting with right hands and slamming him into the hood of his car. WWE officials grab Drew and break it up. Back in the arena, back out comes Drew McIntyre. He says the only place he should be wrestling is the main event of WrestleMania, and that was taken from him. Drew gets in the ring and says he is here to fight. Out comes Nick Aldis with security, and he asks Drew what is wrong. He says every opportunity was given to Drew, and he acts like a maniac. He says Drew talks about being on the way to WrestleMania. The only way he's on his way to unemployment. Drew says he tried to quit, but they would love that. He says he has a better idea. Nick's son's Donovan should be ashamed of his corporate stooge of a father. Out comes Jacob Fatu, and Drew throws him into the barricade. Drew grabs Fatu, but Fatu throws him to the ring post and into the steps. Fatu throws Drew over the announce table. He places Drew onto the announce table, but WWE officials break it up. Fatu arcs through the fans and back runs towards the table. Fatu jumps into the barricade and onto Drew through the table. Then we go to commercial break. WWE Tag Team Championship match: Tama Tonga and JC Mateos, who reigning SmackDown Tag Team Champions, versus Damian Priest and R-Truth. The bell rings and we're underway. Mateo and Priest start the match. Priest with a fall slam followed by a shoulder tackle. Tonga Leo gets on the ring apron, and that distracts the referee. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Mateo with right hands followed by a standing moonsault. He goes for the cover, but Priest kicks out. Mateo runs toward Priest, but Priest with a kick. R-Truth is tagged in. He lands right hands on Mateo. In come Tama Tonga and Priest, but they dive to the outside of the ring. R-Truth with an STF, but Solo distracts the referee. Tama Tonga pulls R-Truth and choke slams him on the ring apron. The lights go out and come back on. Out come the Wire 6 and they fight with the MFTs. R-Truth with a sidekick onto Mateo. Priest with a close down to Tama Tonga. R-Truth with a double A on Mateo. He goes for a cover and gets up the pin. Here we go. New WWE Tag Team Champions: R-Truth and Damian Priest. Kathy Kelly's backstage with the Bella Twins. They talk about how they are going to win the Women's Tag Team Championships. In come Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss eating ice cream. Flair tells them that they are selfish and that they have next. Guess this is going back to their hit to Charlotte Flair and Brie Bella's history. Goes all the way back to Fastlane, doesn't it? 2016. 10 years ago, Fastlane 2016, doesn't it? History repeats itself, doesn't it? Cut to Candice LeRae and John Gargano. Gargano is laying down. In comes Danhausen. He asks her for $20 and she gives him the 20 and he leaves. Machine Guns pass behind her and they walk away. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Kathy Kelly is with Sami Zayn. He says he should be focused on his match against Aleister Black, but he can't stop thinking about Cody Rhodes. He says Cody looks upon to Randy Orton, but last week's show ended with Orton having the title. In comes Trick Williams. He says that he sees Zayn hurt, but when life gives you lemons, you get your lemon pepper steppers and you shut up while grown folks are talking. Zayn challenges him to a match, and Williams says he will check. Williams tells him that maybe he will watch Zayn's match and give him some pointers. Fraxium versus Motion Machine Guns. The bell rings are underway. Shelley and Frazier start the match. Frazier with a drop kick, Axiom is tagged in and is in Sabin. Motion Machine Guns double team Axiom. They hit Frazier off the apron. Axiom the right hand to Shelley. Frazier gets in and super kicks Sabin. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Frazier with a splash off the top rope onto Sabin. He goes for the cover, but Shelley breaks it up. Axiom is tagged in and out come double team Sabin. Axiom goes for the cover, but Sabin kicks out. Axiom places Sabin onto the top rope, but Sabin with a crossbody. Shelley is tagged in. And they double team Frazier, who gets in the ring. Both teams are in the ring. Motion Machine Guns are thrown to the outside. Frazier with a suicide dive onto the Motion Machine Guns. Frazier throws Sabin into the ring. Axiom climbs the top rope, but Shelley pulls Axiom down. Frazier goes for the cover, but on Sabin, but Sabin kicks out. Frazier leans onto the ropes, and out comes Candice LeRae and hits him with the right hand. Sabin rolls him over and gets the pin. We cut to the outside. We'll see Randy Orton. Back from commercial, Randy Orton's music hits and out he comes. He pulls a dented car from the timekeeper's area and grabs a microphone. Orton places a chair in the ring and has a seat on it. Orton has 4 years when his entrance music hits. Everyone would sing along. What a feeling that is. The love they show him when he tries to return it. He gives the fans high fives and he signs action figures, replicas, titles. He will see a kid on his birthday, wish him a happy birthday. The love that he shows them, that he gets back, that puts a smile on his face, and that smile is the emptiest feeling it has felt in his entire life. Warren says he's been doing this for a long time, longer than most, but the reality is nothing lasts forever. He doesn't want his legacy to be the smiles that puts on their faces. He wants his legacy to be how many world championship gold he has put around his waist. He says not too long ago he won the Elimination Chamber and was going to fight Drew McIntyre for the title. Yeah, Orton. Orton says he's been doing this for a long time, longer than most. But the reality is that nothing lasts forever. He doesn't want his legacy to be the smiles that puts upon their faces. He wants his legacy to be how many world championship gold he has put around his waist. He says not too long ago he won the Elimination Chamber, and he was going to fight Drew McIntyre for the title, and he knew that he can be what he needed to beat Drew. But when Cody won, he didn't know if he can be who he needs to be to beat Cody. He says he loves Cody like a brother, but last week Cody took the burden off his chest. Cody took that weight off his shoulders when he told him he needed to be the best version he can be. He needs him to be the Viper, to listen to the voices. The problem with listening to the voices that he is not always in control. Sometimes things can happen. Sometimes he gets hurt just like anyone else. But he needs to get that killer instinct. He needs to add 15 to his legacy. He looks at the WrestleMania sign and says that he will do it with the three most dangerous layers of all entertainment. RKO. Orton says he hears voices in his head. They counsel him. They understand. They talk to me, and they tell me that I'm going to beat Cody Rhodes. He says voices tell him that he will beat Cody Rhodes for the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship. They tell him he's going to beat Cody Rhodes for the World Wrestling Federation for the World Wrestling Entertainment Championship, and he's going to do it at the main event of WrestleMania 42 Vegas. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Randy Orton's walking backstage and he stops in front of Matt Cardona. He asks Orton what that was last week. He says he knows he wants the title. Orton gets angry. He tells him he has the nerve to speak to him like that. He asks Cardona if he has any action figures to go play with. Orton hits him with the right hand and tells him to stay out of his business, and he wouldn't understand. Well, I'm not a fan of his wife, Chelsea Green, by the way. Aleister Black with Vega versus Sami Zayn. Before the bell rings, the lights go out, and out come Trick Williams. Trick Williams, the bell rings, and we are underway. Black with right hands, but Zayn with right hands. Black with kicks. He goes for right hand, but Zayn with right hands. Zayn gets Black in the corner and climbs to the second rope. He hits Black with right hands and kicks. Then we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Black with right hands, with kicks and right hands. He throws Zayn to the ropes, and Black with an elbow to the face. Black with a knee to the face, and he goes for a cover, but Zayn kicks out. Black with a knee bar onto Zayn, but Zayn gets out of it. Black with a spinning kick to the side of the head. Black climbs to the top rope and lands on a meteor. He goes for the cover, but Zayn kicks out. Black gets up, but Zayn clotheslines him to the outside of the ring. Zayn goes to the outside and throws Black into the barricade. Black throws Black into the ring. Zayn with an exploder into the corner. Zayn goes for a hell of a kick. Black rolls to the outside of the ring. Black in front is down in front of Williams. Zayn moves Trick's foot out of the way. Zayn throws Black into the ring, and Williams throws a drink into Zayn's black back. Zayn turns around. Williams sits back down. Zayn hits Williams with right hands. Zayn gets back in the ring, and Black hits him with a black mask. He goes for cover and gets the pin. Winner, Aleister Black. Nick Aldis is backstage with Matt Cardona. He tells Aldis that he wants a match against Orton, but Nick Aldis tells him that won't happen. Cardona walks away, and in comes Carmelo Hayes. Aldis tells him that the U.S. Champion Open tonight is closed. Aldis walks away, and in comes Ilya Dragunov. He tells Hayes that he has to take shots in front of him. Hayes tells him that tonight, and for them, it will be champagne, and for the other, it will be pain. Dragunov tells him that pain will entertain. Commercial break. Jade Cargill's music hits, and after she comes to the ring, Jade says she is not there to play with the people's time. She says she doesn't know that Rhea is back there. She calls her out. Rhea's music, and out she comes. Rhea asks her if they are going to talk. Are they going to do something? He tells Jade, and she didn't want to talk to her anymore. Jade tells her that Rhea needs the title, but she doesn't need the title or the ring. She tells Rhea that Rhea's been grinding so hard to be someone, but she has been that bitch, and she is still that bitch. Jade says she is not here to make friends. She's here to make some more money. Rhea tells her that Jay is right about one thing. Rhea does need this. She lives for this. She's been busting her ass since she was 16 years old. She won't let anyone come in and walk all over her. Jay tells her another side story. She doesn't care what she sacrificed or put in. She doesn't care about the women in the locker room. She said wrestling didn't make her. Rhea tells her she won't let her disrespect her. She won't let her disrespect her or anyone in the business. Well, Rhea's no saint in WWE. You might know. You might know. She says it's obvious that Jay knows nothing about the business. She says since the title has been around Jay's waist, that title needs her, and she will put it in a way that she is going to understand. Now she wants that title. She's going to take that title. That is why she has been given a big WrestleMania match. Welcome to the big leagues, bitch. She asks her if they're going to continue talking or do something about it. She tells Jay she'll give her a first shot to hit her or do something. Jay tells her no on her time and walks away. She leaves the ring, but out come Misha and B-Fab. Misha holds a kendo stick. Jade stands in front of Misha and B-Fab. She tells them to get in the ring. They surround the ring, and Jade tells them to get in the ring. Rhea hits B-Fab, but Misha hits Rhea with a kendo stick. Jade with a right hand onto Rhea. Misha and B-Fab hold Rhea and Jade with a super kick, and Jade with a jaded. We cut to Miz and Kit Wilson. Miz is distracted and says it has been a weird week. His family got delayed because of the weather in Hawaii. He was put in the middle of the seat on the plane and has a sunburn on his back that is killing him. Danhausen shows up behind him and slams them on their backs. Miz argues and Danhausen tells him stay cursed. Miz says he is not cursed. We see a ladder fall behind him and Danhausen leaves. Miz turns around and another ladder falls. We see Solo and MFT's backstage. Solo asks him if this is how they repay him. They lost the titles and they might as well kiss WrestleMania goodbye. JC blames the Wyatts, but Solo blames JC Tama Tonga for it. Tama tells Solo to give the lantern back into the Wyatts. He isn't acting like himself. He tells Solo that he is starting to sound like Roman. Solo asks him what he just said. In come Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. Fatu slams Drew into the garage door. In come WWE officials, but Drew takes with a rake to the eyes. And then we'll go to commercial break. U.S. Championship, Carmelo Hayes, reigning U.S. champion versus Eli Dragunov. All I can say is this about the attack by Meat Reed and about this attack. Wow, the attack. Are you telling me that Mishin, Mishin and B-Fab were working together all along we're working together all along with Jade Cargill? Was this some sort of setup? It looks like looks like Rhea Ripley is doomed now. As I was saying, we cut to Miz and as I finish up, the bell rings. We're underway. Dragunov with right hands and chops. Dragunov with a chop, but Hayes with a kick. Hayes goes for a springboard, but Dragunov moves out of the way and Hayes lands on his feet. Dragunov with a Constantine special. And go to commercial break. Back in commercial, Hayes with a dirty dime. He goes for cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Hayes clothesline Dragunov with a top rope and outside the ring. Hayes with a splash over the top rope and onto Dragunov. Hayes slams onto the Hayes slams the announce table over the effort landing onto Dragunov. He throws Dragunov back into the ring. Hayes climbs to the top rope and slams on Frog Splash. He goes for a cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Hayes goes for a springboard, but Dragunov catches him and lands on a German suplex. Dragunov climbs to the top rope and lands on Santon. He goes for a cover, but Hayes kicks out. Dragunov climbs to the top rope and jumps, but Hayes with the first 48. Dragunov falls to the top of the Hayes and he goes for a cover, but Hayes gets his foot on the bottom rope. Commercial break. Back from commercial. Dragunov with a Death Valley driver onto the ring apron. Dragunov gets Hayes on the top rope and he goes for a suplex back, but Hayes reverses into the cutting. Hayes goes for a cover, but Dragunov kicks out. Hayes with chops and Dragunov with the right hand. Dragunov with a kick to the face, followed by a powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Hayes kicks out. Dragunov runs towards Hayes, but Hayes, the first 48, he goes for cover. Dragunov kicks out. Yeah. Wait. Sorry, what am I saying? Hayes climbs to the top rope. He goes for the nothing but net, but Dragunov moves out of the way. Hayes lands on his feet, and Dragunov with a trail Moscow. Dragunov goes for the power bomb, but Hayes reverses it into a sunset flip, but cover and gets the pin. Winner still U.S. champion Carmelo Hayes. We cut backstage, and Jelly Roll is stopped by Randy Orton. He apologizes to him last week to forgive him. Jelly Roll tells him that he is worried about him. He knows what it's like to be the bad guy. He knows that Orton knows that what it's like to be, what is that like too, but he's not here to judge him. He says Orton lights up this place, and says Orton became a better person. He became a better man. He doesn't understand why Orton is going back to being the bad guy. He says he knows a whole different version of Orton. He knows a great human, someone who has changed his business by himself. The husband, the father, the man says Orton is his beautiful soul. That man is his back at SummerSlam, but he doesn't know the guy who attacked Cody last week. Life is not about what you do; it's about what you do with it. He says like Cardone Earl, he knows he was wrong. He doesn't know what to do. Jerry Roll tells him to go find Cardone and do the right thing. Orton says he hears him and he loves him. They hug. Commercial break. Back from commercial. Kid Wilson's in the ring. He says Jerry Roll crossed the line. He says where he is from. When he caused a problem and said like a man. He calls Jelly Roll out of the ring, and out comes Jelly Roll. He gets to the ring, but Wilson leaves the ring. Jelly Roll tells him that this is what he wants, and this is what he will get. Jelly Roll asks for referee. Wilson tells him that once more, the ego is 2 steps ahead of the brain. He says they sell this like civilized gentlemen. He doesn't want to fight with his fists. He fights with his words. Wilson gets back in the ring, and Jelly Roll asks him if he brought him here to have a rap battle with him. Jelly Roll tells Wilson that Wilson's not a rapper. Wilson tells him not to compare him to a rapper. He is better than him. And Jelly Roll, he says no rap battle. Tonight they have slam poetry. Wilson begins reading out of a book. Wilson tells Jelly that he can talk all he wants. He has no class, just a couple of face tattoos and a criminal past. He continues to assault Jelly Roll. Wilson calls Jelly Roll a jerk and says at least the proof that Osmic works. Jelly Roll says that was pretty good. He says he didn't bring a book and he might have had something from him. He begins to freestyle and insults Wilson's mother. Wilson hits Jelly Roll from behind with a microphone. Wilson climbs the top rope and he lands on a spinning elbow. We cut to Julia and Kiana James who are backstage. He tells her that she is aware of the whole outcome of the match. Julia tells her that she didn't get the job done. Kiana apologizes. Then comes Chelsea Green. Alba Fire. Green tells her the enemy of your enemy is her friend. She mentions Tiffany, and Julia tells her that she doesn't need any help from her. Julia and James walk away. In come Nia Jackson Last Rush, and Nia pushes Chelsea's wheelchair and they walk away. Well, we saw sorry about. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on. Okay. Back from commercial. Jerry Rose tells Nick Aldis he wants to kill Wilson. Kill Wilson. Aldis makes his match for next week. From back from commercial, Jerry Rose tells Nick Aldis that he wants to kill Wilson. Aldis makes the match for next week. Women's Tag Team Championship, Nia and Lash Legend, World Tag Team Champions, versus the Bella Twins. Bell rings are underway. The Bella Twins with a double drop and kick. Nikki and Nia in the ring. Nikki on the headlock. Nia throws her into the top ropes and lands on a shoulder tackle. Nia goes for the elbow, but Nikki moves out of the way. Bree is tagged in. They double team Nia and Bree with an armbar, and Nikki tagged back in. Nikki climbs to the top rope and lands on a double and X handle. Nick, they lash with right hand off the ring apron. Flair's music hits, and out she comes with Alexa Bliss that distracts Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella Twins Lash hits him with a right hand. Commercial break. Back from break, Bree with a drop kick onto the top rope onto Nia. Bree with running knee to the face. Bree with a yes kicks. In comes Lash with Bree with a drop kick. Nia with a pop up headbutt onto Bree. She runs towards Bree, but Bree moves out of the way, and Nia falls to the outside of the ring. Nikki with a crossbar off the top rope onto Nia and Lash. Nikki throws Nia back into the ring. Now she climbs to the top rope, but Nia with her right hand. Nia gets Nikki on the shoulder, and Lash is tagged in. Nia climbs to the second rope and lands on a Samoan drop. Lash climbs to the second rope, and she lands on a frog splash. She goes for cover, but Bree breaks it up. Bree with a Bronco Buster. Bree to the outside, but Nia slams her onto the ring apron. Nikki with a fearless lock. Nia grabs one of the tiles, and she goes to hit Bree with it, but Bree Charlotte hits Nia with referee calls for the bell. Still women's tag team champions Nia and Lash Legend. Nikki gets in Flair's face, but Alexa gets in her face. Both teams begin to fight in the ring. In come Nia and Lash Legend into the ring. Legend with a headbutt onto Flair, followed by a bear hug. Nia with a leg drop onto Flair in the second rope. We cut to the back, and Randy Orton is talking on the phone. He says to the person is right. He goes to the ring and fix it. Orton hangs up the phone. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Randy Orton's music hits, and out he comes with a steel chair. Orton says he has an apology that he needs to make it to everyone. Importantly, he has an apology to give out to Matt Cardona. He asked Mac to come out. He wants to do it in front of everyone. Matt Cardone's hits everyone. Matt Cardone's music hits, and out he comes. Orton says that if he's in the gym, he's sorry that they go way back. He has known him for 20 years. He says Orton is sorry that he has an apology to make to Cody next week. He asked Mac if he will forgive him. They shake hands and they hug. Orton low blows Cardone and hits him with RKO. All I can say, his wife sucks. Anyway, but that was a brutal beating tonight. Orton throws Cardone to the outside of the ring. He places Cardone to the announce table and hits him with right hands. Orton grabs into the ring, but out come WWE officials. Orton stops, but he grabs Cardone and throws him back into the ring. Orton with right hands, he places Cardone and arm in between the chair, but WWE officials get in the ring to break it up. Orton stops, but he steps in the chair. WWE officials break it up, and Orton leaves the ring. He sees Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre fighting to the outside. Nick Aldis runs to the back. Drew and Fatu fighting on the ledge of the outside of the ring. They fight off the ring on the ledge, and both men fall back on the ledge. Nick Aldis calls for a minute. Smackdown goes off the air. Wow. I think this is going to look very terrible for WrestleMania 42 Vegas. Very terrible. I mean, looks like they're out of action. Drew and Jacob officially out of action. Now I got that underway. Now I know it's time for. I think WrestleMania 42 is going to look like crap. I can tell you. Now it's time for my wrestling news. Let's go to March the 19th. AJ Lee turns March 19th. AJ Lee, she turns 39 today. My brother was born March the 18th. Jimmy Corderas, he turned Canadian wrestler, Canadian referee, turns '64 on the March 19th. Rick Quick McGraw would have been 71. He was born on November 1st, 1980. He died on November 1st, 1985. A heart failure. Matt Sydal, renamed Evan Bourne, he turned 43. Gino Garibaldi would have been 119 on March 19th. He was like a wrestler, probably wrestler. And on ECW Hardcore TV, the Bad Crew fought the El Puerto Ricano and Damian Stone to a no contest. The Bruise Brothers fought the Pitbulls to a no contest. Rey Mysterio Jr. defeated who to grab best out of 3 falls match. And on Heat, a Sunday night edition of Heat, Eugene defeated Lance Cade. Max Striker defeated Chris Venezuela. Viscera defeated Rod Coleman. Charles Guerrero defeated Tyson Tonko. And Bruce Willis turned 71 on March 19th. He was born 1950. Everybody know from the Die Hard movies. He's retired now. He has like a dementia. March the 20th. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Okay, March the 20th, yesterday. Um, yeah, March 20th, 2020 was the 1 year anniversary of wrestler Rico Suave. His real name was Julio Domingo Estrada Caceres. He was born July 4th, 1970. Date of birth, he died on March 20th, 2005, Vero Beach, Florida. Puerto Rican wrestler. Sting, the icon Sting, the man they call Sting, he turned 67. Jonathan Gresham turned 37. Yeah, Sting, the wrestler Sting, Steve Borden, he turned 67. Yeah, I said that, yeah. Let's see what else. Johnny Powers, Canadian wrestler Johnny Powers, he turns 83 yesterday. Matt Taven turned 41 yesterday. Let's see. Homicide from TNA turns 48. You're 49, man. Okay, well, see pro wrestling. See what else. See let's see. Okay. Monday Night Raw. Night after Monday Night Raw. To hype up. Talk about after WrestleMania. Talk about WrestleMania. This was before yep. FedEx former Memphis, Tennessee, the hometown of Jerry the King Lawler. The show opened up with a celebration for Shawn Michaels about Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon destroying Shawn Michaels to Vince McMahon until John Cena came out. And then we see Kane defeating Carlito, Shelton Benjamin defeating Ric Flair and RVD in the Intercontinental Triple Threat match. Victoria defeating Tori Wilson. Big Show defeating Chris Masters. And we see Mickie James kidnapping. Realized that Mickie James kidnapping Ashley after and getting Trish Stratus out here after she spurned her advances, leading up to he challenged her for a match for the WWE title, for the women's title at WrestleMania 22. And she was bleeding at the nose. Wow. That was pretty disturbing right there. And she kissed her. Then we see a little segment between Mick Foley, Lita, and Edge, followed by a match at WrestleMania 22. Then the main event, Triple H and Shane McMahon with Vince McMahon defeated John Cena and Shawn Michaels with DQ. Because the reason why, because Vince McMahon banned that little fist thing little fist thing that John Cena and that was make him say. And then we see then Vince McMahon said it's gonna be a next match. It will be Shawn Michaels versus Triple H and Shane McMahon Vince McMahon. And then no contest till Triple H till John Cena came in and interfered. It was a 2-1 handicap match. And then Vince McMahon got very upset, and Vince tells Cena that he wants him next Monday. It'll be John Cena versus Vince McMahon next Monday, saying he's gonna kick his ass as the show ended. And that's it. That'll do for my review. Everything the Godfather Show doing Slimming. His late champion Shaw would say, dress up Chuck, chicken dance like Lionel Richie, dance like James Brown, like to get in the hot tub when you sweat, when you dry, when you're wet. Turn to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. Never grew up in the 80s. Back in the 80s, I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, so I saw reruns of old school Saturday Night when I was little. So I hope all of you good morning. It's midnight, it's 12:48. Give me some sleep. And for those of you that heard Chuck Norris passed away yesterday at the age of 40, at the age of 81, at the age of 86, I'm gonna close out some of a little bit of music for all of you. Things from Walker, Texas Ranger, and little music score from the Sidekick soundtrack, which co-starred with him, the late Jonathan Brandis. So hope I have a good morning. It's midnight. It's 12:49. Hope I have a good night. I'm out here. Peace.
Of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are upon you. Any wrong you do, he's gonna see. When you're in Texas, look behind you, 'cause that's where the ranger's gonna be.